So I'd like to invite up Mike Futrell. And Mike Futrell is the reason probably most of you are here, because he's going to give us some background and information on Measure W and our plans. Mike?
Thank you. I will need that. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. These are indeed special times for South San Francisco. I'm Mike Futrell, and I have the honor and privilege of being your city manager. I've been in the city 2.5 years now. I live a couple of blocks away, and I've come to love this city. So thank you for welcoming me and my family into your family. And it is a special place right now on the peninsula, and frankly in the United States. When you look at what's happening, this really is our time. Approximately, well, as soon as I got here 2.5 years ago, the council was already engaged in a discussion about the city, recognizing that the recession was ending. We were coming out of those bad times. The city had some real needs that were a result of that economic downturn. Things were not maintained the way they would have liked. There were improvements that were needed, but frankly, during a recession, those things get put on hold because they have to be. But now we were emerging out of that, and the council started a very earnest discussion about how do we get back to where we were, but not just that, but address some of the long-standing systemic issues that have been facing the city. So the City Council embarked upon, frankly, a listening tour of the city. Last year, we held 8 town hall meetings, some focused on police and fire, some focused on parks and recreation or the library, some just general town hall meetings asking, what do we need? What should we be doing? Look at your city and tell us what you want. And we augmented that with written surveys and telephone surveys asking people in the city. They truly wanted to understand, where do you want us to take our city? Now that opportunities are reemerging, the economy is coming back up, the ship is starting to move again, where do you want us to go? So we listened. What we heard, the priorities, public safety was number 1. Quick emergency response times, crime prevention, gang diversion and prevention. What can we do to stop young people at an early age, to stop them from joining gangs, to get them on the right track so maybe one day they'd have some of those biotech jobs across the 101. And replace seismically unsafe facilities. The building that we are in, you may know, some of you still remember, 50 years ago, this was a department store. And it was built and designed as a department store. Over 35 years ago, the City Council 35 years ago put a measure before the people to build a new police station. That measure failed. And so as a backup, because there was nowhere else to go, the city took over the department store and turned it into a police station. It was never designed as such, but it served its function for 34 years, but it is not seismically safe. The building is at risk, and it's time for a change. That came across very clearly that we wanted to give our police and fire what they need to do their jobs and to do it safely and to protect us. But we also heard the need for more programs for seniors and the disabled, to maintain streets and to fix potholes. That was one of the areas where, frankly, during the recession, there wasn't enough money to fix our streets, and it shows. And then finally, it came through very clear as we began talking about a tax measure that would help us actually deliver on some of these desires, that we have strong citizen oversight, strong auditing, strong accountability for that. Well, armed with this public input, the City Council put before the voters last year a measure which would provide the resources, we believe, to meet these needs. And that was Measure W, and that passed in November. Since that time, the City Council has had 3 public meetings to discuss how do we now move forward? How do we deliver on the promise of Measure W to bring this to reality? So tonight, I'd like to show you a summary of those past 7 months of discussion, and we'll have an opportunity to get feedback from you, because that was also an important directive from our city council that we cannot have this designed in a vacuum. We can put forth our ideas, but let the people of this town have their say and to react and give their ideas and suggestions as well. And from that, we hope a better plan will emerge. The next step after tonight, staff will take all the comments and suggestions tonight. We'll have another public meeting with the City Council at the City Council meeting on July 27th. You're all welcome to attend and speak then as well. But we'll take what we learned tonight, massage, distill, change as necessary, improve the proposal, and then bring it to Council on July 27th for further deliberation, debate, and continuing to move forward. So, with that, the first one that we address right out of the box, $18 million for streets, potholes. It's needed. There is a system where every street is graded, very poor, poor, kind of good, good. We have a lot that are in the poor and very poor. You may live on some of those streets. We're going to fix those. So out in the atrium, as you walked in, there's a whole series of maps showing which streets we propose to fix and when. So we certainly want you to take a look at that, provide your comments, and see if we got it right. But that's the first thing you will see delivered from Measure W. Starting later this year, we will march forward and begin improving those streets. So thank you very much for that. The rest we thought long and hard. How do we first deal with this old building and deliver on better police response times, make sure that our 911 dispatch center is in a modern facility that can respond quickly and does not, well, frankly, won't fall down in an earthquake. And then how do we address the other needs? So with that, the idea of a civic campus. Frankly, we need to leave this building. This building's day is done. The maintenance costs are huge beyond the fact that it's not designed or laid out as a proper police facility. So we're proposing a new police operations center, a new 911 dispatch center, a new fire station, and a new combined library, park and rec community center. And we're going to talk about each one of those right now. Where we would like to do this, so I'd like you to take a little time and study this, and this is also out in the atrium, but it's right across the street. At the corner of Chestnut and El Camino, there is a large open space there, as well as you've got the pet store. That is actually owned by the successor agency to the Redevelopment Authority. Basically, it's owned by the government already. So we would propose to move the police station, park and recreation, and build the new library across the street. We'd have green space, it would connect to the Centennial Trail, and it would re-energize that entire corner right now, which currently sits vacant with brushland. It has limited commercial value because that piece in the middle is the BART tunnel. The BART tunnel runs underneath what is shown as green space and the parking lot, and you cannot build a building on top of the BART tunnel. But in this way, we put this part of our city back into commerce, make it useful. On the other side, you can see the fire station. We need a new fire station here. It needs to be on this side of El Camino to provide rapid response. But most of this building we would propose to tear down, sell this piece of property right here, right on El Camino. It has great value for commercial use, and then use those funds to help finance the rest of the project. But in that way, we can provide what we need. We can provide the police with the modern, functional, operational center they need to keep us safe. We can build a new 911 center, and we have the opportunity to build something amazing in a new library and park and recreation facility that we can all enjoy. This is another view of it, kind of a 3D view. to give you a sense of what it might look like just across the street. So for police, 911 dispatch center, and modern facilities, and they need that. For fire, a new fire station, again on this side, because if you look at response times, they need to be on this side of El Camino to make it happen. The most exciting, and the one that I'd hope you all provide some thought either today or in the future, is a new combined library and community center. What is a library? Do we need libraries anymore, given the internet? I can read any book I want, at home, online. So a library, this conversation about libraries is happening across the country. Every community is having the same revisioning. What exactly is a library as a learning center, as a place where knowledge is exchanged, where the community comes together as a group? And if you broaden the definition of what that learning, knowledge, sharing place can be, and then combine it with some of the exciting things that our Park and Recreation Department currently does, it can really be a special place for this community, for all of us to enjoy. Programs for seniors, programs for kids, opportunities for people to learn, start new businesses, gain new skills. This is something in particular we need your input on. What would you like to see in this kind of a facility? What does a library of the future look like? Because the council, again, has been very clear, we don't want to build yesterday's library. Frankly, we don't even want to build today's library. We'd like to get ahead of the curve and build a facility, present something to this community that will be unique and valuable and something we can be proud of for many years to come. So visioning what this can be and then bringing that to life is very, very important. That's a little heavy, I think, and perhaps take some time to try and visualize. We are talking to library experts around the country. We're also talking to Google and YouTube and others who have futurists on their staff, and they're providing us their input. What does Google think should go into a learning facility which will still be relevant 15 years from now? That's pretty interesting stuff. And if we can bring that here, wow, what an asset to this community, to all of us, to our children, something that can really make it a special place. So we do have an example. Other cities around the country are having this same debate. Some have already built facilities. We found an example we liked. It's not exactly what we want, but it's from Midland, Texas. So take a watch.
The challenge Midland was facing with this library was there had been no investment for 40 years in the library system. And technology, how did that marry with books?
When you talk about the vision of what Midland County Public Library is, it's about change of perception, both the physical building, what you expect when you walk in, and conceptually what your idea is when you hear that. It's not a quiet place with a librarian in a bun in her hair and getting shushed all the time. It's a community destination place. It's a place where people are meeting. It's the cornerstone. It's a quality of life issue for us. But what we're doing with the merging of traditional library services with the technology, our children's areas off the hook with its story time room and hot air balloon to read in and things that you do not see in public libraries anywhere else.
The library is fun, and I think kids will always like to be at the library to read and learn more things at the library by just reading the books.
The technology is so flexible, and so we can continue to adapt. We can continue to offer new things. We can back off things that aren't working. We can gauge usage and increase in those areas where we really see the need.
The Cisco Interactive Digital Signage allows us to provide a modern experience for a traditional library purpose. We plan to grow our existing offerings to keep pace with the needs of the public and as technology changes. The new Centennial Library has deployed Cisco backbone networking, Cisco voice over IP, Cisco interactive digital signage, Cisco IP cameras, Cisco door control, public computers powered by Citrix virtual desktops, Cisco servers and EMC SAN storage, Cisco high-density Wi-Fi.
We have the facility now to really give them service. So if they need more homework help, they need more research help, they want more exhibits, they want more programming, we have the ability to do that now, and we can in turn serve the community based on what they tell us they want.
I think this library is a great example for other libraries, not only in Texas, but in the entire country, because it's so interactive, it is incredibly inviting, and it's not like your typical library, which I think is good for the modern day youth.
We are sitting in the future of the Midland County Public Library. I mean, when you talk about, what is next, this was it. I mean, Centennial Library, the premier public library in Texas, with technologies on the floor and touchscreen interactive catalogs and exhibit space and bubble walls and 14-foot letters. I mean, we made it happen. We made the future happen for us.
So we'd like to make the future happen for us too. But if you look at the feedback that we received from residents and what they wanted in this city, a facility like this would enable us to deliver top quality, technologically advanced, varied, and flexible programming and services, be it homework help, be it programs for seniors, be it exhibits on the city's history. This would provide us a venue we can be proud of, and frankly, something really, really special in the peninsula and the Bay Area. But we need your help. We need your help in visioning this and making sure, first and foremost, that it meets your needs. Frankly, we fail if we build something and provide something that you don't want. So we need to continue the conversation in our community that we started last year with all of those town hall meetings. Continue that conversation as we now move into the design and actual construction of the facilities that will not just replace what's broken, like this building, but then move us to another level and provide something we can really enjoy and that our families can enjoy. So, to that end, I should also note that this council took very seriously the comments about oversight, financial responsibility, and accountability. All of the Measure W funds are accounted for by themselves. They are not commingled with any other funds. 2 months ago, the council adopted the bylaws and formally established a 5-member Citizens Oversight Committee. And in August, we'll start taking applications, and you'll hear more about that. Those applications are available through the city clerk's office if you would like to serve on that oversight committee. And by the end of the year, that committee will be in place, and they are mandated by law, by the ballot that was voted on by you. They are mandated to provide annual reports. We are mandated to have annual audits by an outside auditor, and all of that will be made public. But there's a tremendous commitment to transparency, financial responsibility, and accountability with these funds. You have placed your trust in us that we would do it right, and that's what we plan to do. So, delivering on Measure W, public safety, programming, fix those streets and potholes, and accountability, but now we do need your help. How can we do this better? So that moves us to the next phase of our meeting, which is we're going to ask you for your feedback, but in a way that we think is more responsive. First, I echo what the mayor had to say. What an amazing crowd. I've been to a lot of city meetings, and this is just terrific. Thank you for coming out. But we've got a way, I think, that all of you can participate in this conversation, and that is we have set up 4 separate booths, and you saw them as you walked in. The first will deal with the campus layout, the across the street stuff. Do you like that idea? Do you like the way the buildings are laid out? There are some options about where the parking should go and things like that. If you'd like to discuss that and the layout, that's booth number 1. If you'd like to talk about police and fire and the new fire station, the need for a police station, what's going to go in there, the 911 center, stop by and chat with the police. If you'd like to talk about the library and the Park and Rec Community Center and what the vision is and your ideas for what you'd like to see in a facility like that, that's booth number 3. Booth number 4 is street repair, and you'd think that would be boring, but it's the first one I went to see where's my street, and am I going to get overlaid. I was disappointed to see that my particular street apparently is not considered poor or very poor because I'm not on the list, but you can stop by there and they have the 5-year plan laid out 1 year at a time and talk about what streets you think need to be repaired, and we'll take that input. At each of these stations, we will have a lot of staff. We will have people there to talk with you, to answer questions. And then we have people specifically designated to write down your comments, record takers, because we want to capture your thoughts, your ideas, your feedback. Then we're going to take all of that after tonight, spend the next month putting that together, and again, we'll have another public meeting on July 27th in the council chambers where that will be presented, and we'll continue with our planning. But your input is absolutely necessary tonight. So you can go to one, or you can go to all 4. If you only have an interest in police, then that's fine. You can go there. I will mention that while we've been sitting here, people have been setting up a food out here for all of us. So as you go out, there is also some light refreshments and some things to eat. So please, we're going to stay as long as you want. So tank up with some food and get going. This is the layout. You saw it as you go in. So we are here. The council chamber is the library. Police are out in the middle, Public Works, and then the campus. The materials are there. Last thing, because we're already getting going, this is our contact information. If you have thoughts that occur to you overnight, in the middle of the night, write them down. You can mail them, you can email them, you can call us. We want your feedback, and there's lots of opportunity for that. So with that, I'd like to thank you for coming, but we're not done yet. Let's all go out there, take a look at this plan, and please engage with staff, provide your ideas, and let's do this together. Let's build a better South San Francisco. Thank you.